You're at the website. This is the website. Get up to $500,000 for healthcare spending during retirement. Hey, this is money for Medicare, money for long-term care services, I would say, and other help along the way. So it starts with individuals taking the quiz. Once you take the quiz, it provides us with a number and score. Once you get the score, we can talk to you about, okay, this is what we see based on the averages. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, there will be people who hit the average like on the button. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've seen enough of this over the past 15 years to tell you there will be people who will hit that number on the button, and then there will be people who will be below it and people who will exceed it, right? So it's kind of like the old bell curve, right? So, but when you look at the stats based on your quiz, taking that survey, we just kind of give you a forecast as to what to expect. It's real simple to do because the numbers are out there. All right. So, anyway, once you have that in place, then we are adopting the proper strategies, the things to put in place that will benefit you during retirement. Look, during retirement, these are the best years of your life. You shouldn't be spending your time during retirement worrying about spending. Okay, worrying about healthcare spending during retirement. That's the last thing you want to spend your time on. So by adopting this strategy, we help to mitigate a lot of that angst, worry, weeping, gnashing, all that stuff, right? All that bad. We want you to enjoy yourself. So that's what we do. We put you in a strategic location in your life where you can enjoy yourself without a whole lot of hullabaloo. So all that being said, folks, I want to deal with an email from a member. Miss Mary said it was okay for me to use her information. However, I'm just going to give you the highlights, right? The clip notes of our conversation. In a nutshell, she has adopted a portion of the strategy, not the entire strategy, but a portion of the strategy. She received an email from a friend of hers. They had met, and her friend has a Medicare supplement and was told that this is the best thing to get. Don't do anything else because of all the bad things that could possibly happen to you in a Medicare Advantage environment. I hear this a lot. Okay. Uh, and I'll be the first to tell you, we do Medicare Advantage and we do Medicare supplements. We do both. Right. So, but there are strategies, right? That once you take the quiz, we're going to know where you're going to land. Right. So we can tell you the best route that you should take based on your situation. Anyway, but Miss Mary's want us to just take a look at the video. So I did. I went through the video and she just wanted to know my thoughts about that and on the other side. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a portion of that video. I can tell you that the video sets up this way. The young man is an insurance agent, has a brokerage agency, just much like I do. And he's talking about his mom who passed away, and about 13 or 14 months, the last 13 or 14 months, that where she utilized a great degree of healthcare. All right. And in that space, what would have been the difference, right, if she had had only original Medicare? Because some people do that, believe it or not. There are a lot of people out there who only have original Medicare. That's it. Right. So that's one strategy. Then he looks at what if she had a Medicare supplement? And then what if she had a Medicare Advantage? What would have been her spending in the 13-month period? All right. All right. However, there are other pieces I'm not quite certain that he's aware of. Um, or I should say, it hasn't dawned on him yet. That's probably the best way to put it. But when it does dawn on him, I think that his strategy will be even better. All right. So right now, I can tell you, pound for pound, I think we have the best strategy in the marketplace. And in fact, I will go as far to say that if you adopt the entire strategy strategically, I don't think you're going to have anything to worry about during retirement. Strategically. All right. So, and a lot of what we do is just built on those averages, right? All that Medicare data is right there. The question is, how do you interpret it, right? But once you interpret it, people are going to fall on the averages. People are going to fall a little bit below, right? And then there'll be people who will exceed, right? So we plan accordingly based on what we see. All right. So that being said, let's go through the video, only about a minute, right? If you want to watch the entire video, I'll put a link to it in the bottom, but only a minute of it. We'll talk about the synopsis, what the final analysis, what he saw, and then we'll talk about some other items on the other side that we need to consider. All right, so that being said, let's jump right into it.
$50. Now let's look at the totals, and let me warn you, don't end the video after these totals. There are important variables after this that could change the results for you. Total billed is $709,000. There is rounding in all of these numbers. Medicare paid around $330,000. In last place is original Medicare only, and by a lot. $3,200 in Part A costs, $2,000 in Part B premiums, $226 for the Part B deductible, and about $75,000 in Part B coinsurance for a total of $80,500. Oof. In second place is the Medicare Advantage Plan with a maximum out of pocket in this instance of $5,000 for 2023 and an additional $1,050 in 2024, plus $2,000 in Part B premiums for a grand total of $8,050. In first place, the supplement plan comes in at $0 in Part A costs, $2,000 in Part B premium costs, $226 in Part B deductible costs, and about $2,000 in supplement plan premium costs for a grand total of $4,226. Now, we have a couple of important notes to finish this out to give.
Okay, so that's a great place to stop. And just reiterating the point that he's making. And I agree. I think that he's done a great job. There's a couple things that some nuances. I'm not, not here to poo-poo on his parade. This is actually a really good job. But let me tell you, I mean, let's set it up this way, and I'll stick the landing here. All right, look, when it comes to original Medicare, he shows you $80,000 or better is what you could spend if you only have your red, white, and blue card. No one wants to be in that particular situation, right? So that's the reason why you have option one or option two, a Medicare Advantage or a Medicare supplement, right? If you have the Medicare Advantage, he tells you that you're going to spend $8,000 in this example, right? If you have the Plan G, you're going to spend really $4,226. So he puts a smiley face by the Plan G, and that's the winner. When it comes to premium dollars spent and what you would have spent in spending, when it comes to spending, you look at Plan G and you say it is superior, right? But there's more to the story. And he does allude to the hospital indemnity later in the video. However, when it comes to Miss Mary, and now I'm coming to you and I'm answering your question, my thoughts, your situation, what would be, what would be your benefit, and is it superior to a Medicare supplement? I'm here to tell you, yes, it is superior to a Medicare supplement because with your hospital indemnity, you will have received $10,200. If what the young man says is true, okay, I'm here to tell you that strategically, you're in a much better situation because you have been reimbursed for your spending. Now, reimbursed from your spending, your plan costs. Think about your Medicare Advantage plan, $27 this year, defrayed by your hospital indemnity. Think about the Medicare Part B costs, defrayed by your hospital indemnity. Think about the out-of-pocket max in the example of $5,000, defrayed by the hospital indemnity, $2,200 left over. In most cases, people who are hospitalized, they don't leave 100% better, right? They probably will need some form of rehabilitation at a rehab facility or skilled nursing, or they will probably go home. All right. If you're going home, $2,200, let's say that you have a family member who can't be there all day. Well, we can hire in visiting angels to be there for a period of time during the day in order to assist us. $2,200. I will tell you that the average block of time purchase for a visiting angel or something is about $150 for 3 hours. Okay. So we have money left over in order to assist us with that possibility. We don't have to reach into our bank account, or we get it from the hospital indemnity dollars. If your situation is one where you leave the hospital and have to go to a rehab facility, there's money in your hospital indemnity for that. That's a good thing. So, for individuals who have a hospital indemnity and you're in a skilled nursing facility, I will tell you this is one of the issues I get from people who work in assisted living, right? I don't like the Medicare Advantage, because they kick people out. Well, if you have a hospital indemnity, I'm here to tell you, you got money set aside. Even if they say they're not going to pay any longer, you have money set aside to where you can afford to stay longer. So, a hospital indemnity plan coupled with a Medicare Advantage plan is superior than a Medicare supplement and standalone Part D. It does much more. I've been doing this portion, hospital coupling a hospital indemnity plan with the Medicare Advantage since 2010. And we have tweaked it over the years. So for anyone who purchased this earlier, we probably want to look at it. Okay. And in most cases, we can probably make some changes within the policy without having to go through underwriting. And worst case scenario, maybe we have to go through some form of underwriting. All right. And I know it's going to sit on the shelf for a while. I do know that. Right. And I also know that you have situations where you're in a hospital and you're there for 24 hours or better, and they have you down as either outpatient or observation. I know that. Okay. And in most cases, in the Medicare Advantage, I'm not really worried about that because the cost for an outpatient stay, just say it's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. So get this stuff early. Okay. Because once you turn 65, right, the cost does go up every year. But I'm here to tell you that cost that goes up every year looks a lot like the same cost in your Medicare supplement that goes up every year. The reason why your Medicare supplement goes up every year isn't because of your Part B spending. Okay. Isn't because of you going to a doctor's office. It goes up every year because of the possibility that you will have a Medicare Part A event. Remember, folks, the most expensive side of that red, white, and blue card will always be Medicare Part A, not Part B. Remember, on Part B, that's where the government pays 80% of the Medicare allowable, and your responsibility is 20. It's Part A. So, look, if you get this at 65, look at what you would spend for a Medicare supplement and a Part D plan. Spend that money for your hospital indemnity. If you do, the premiums will remain consistent year over year, doesn't move, right? But your Medicare supplement will move every year, some 7 to maybe 9%. Okay. So the premium stays consistent. So you're spending, you can track that yearly and say, I'm spending the same type of money. But when it comes to taking that benefit, you'll see how superior that product coupled with a Medicare Advantage is. All right, folks. That's all I have for you today. Like and subscribe. Give me your comments and questions that you may have. I know this stuff is confusing. However, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to help answer those questions for you. And in a lot of respects, even if you don't understand, I appreciate the fact that people have grown to trust what it is that I have to say.
Hey Art, Mike here. Hey, just a quick note of thanks for all your guidance and support of my sister Diane and me with all of our insurance this year. From the initial evaluation of Diane's individual situation and insurance options, leading up to the selection of the policy that best fit her needs, and for advising and guiding me in the claims filing process for Diane too. And so now Diane's receiving her insurance payments, which is great. And I especially want to express my appreciation for your expertise and your professionalism, your thoroughness, and your follow through throughout the entire time. And finally, Art, I'd like to say thank you again for your personal involvement and caring. They've really made all the difference in the world to Diane and me. So much appreciated, Art.
That means a lot to me. So, look, have a great weekend. If you do want to show up to one of the meetings, we're doing 2 meetings in Anderson, one at the Anderson Country Club, the other at Bethany Point, which is a assisted living facility. We're doing it at their clubhouse. And then we're also doing meetings in Muncie. And we may be doing some meetings up further north as well. So, folks, feel free to reach out to me, come to a meeting, or if you got questions, especially regarding your Part D. I keep saying this. I'm telling you, take a look at your Medicare Part D. If you're a person that takes tier 3, 4, and 5 drugs, and if you don't know if it's a tier 3 or 4 drug, get in touch with me. I'll put your prescription drugs in what they call the Part D estimator, and we can estimate your cost. That way you're not caught flat-footed when this happens, right? When next year happens, you need to know what what you will be spending. All right, folks. So all that being said, folks, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself, and we will see you in the next video.